Hey, Shalom. Welcome to another video. As always, before I get started, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakwadash. Next, double honors to the head apostles / other bishops of the great millstone who teach and who rule well. Peace, blessings, and safety to all you sincere Akim. Keep pushing, keep believing, and keep the faith, regardless of what people hear or what they forbear. All right, so this is going to be a response to a TikTok clip, okay, that was originally responded to by Elder Menata Zagbad at GMS, South Carolina. All right, it's entitled "Ignore These Hebrews Like Camps." Okay, my quote unquote white brothers and sisters. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and let it play. And I was gonna make a video on it myself, but I decided to go live because I commented on the video. I said there's so many things wrong with this video that I can't just put it on to one. I got to do it piece by piece. Okay, so that's pretty much what we're going to be talking about. Heavenly Father's will is edifying to the elect. Let's go ahead and play the video.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is a video I want to make to address something I've been seeing on TikTok the last couple of days. I see a lot of YT, mostly a lot of YT females who are making messages because they're getting so much hate from Hebrew brothers and sisters who are telling them that they won't be able to enter into the kingdom because of their bloodline. First, I want to let you guys know, go read 2nd Esdras, chapter 2, verses 24 through 35. And it literally, the Most High was literally addressing he was addressing Jacob and Judah. Jacob, which is the 11 tribes, the northern kingdom, and then Judah, which is the southern tribe. And then he says that I would get in verse.
Okay, so we're gonna start with that. All right, this is a small correction. Okay, and he doesn't know this guy. He's obviously a novice, and that's okay. He doesn't know. So just to correct that, all right, he said Jacob and Judah. Okay, Jacob is the forefather. Okay, he is the father of the Israelites. All right. Okay, Jacob's name was changed to Israel. Judah is one of Jacob's sons. Okay, so it's really Judah and Ephraim. All right, with Judah being the head tribe of the southern kingdom, there was a split, and then Ephraim being the head tribe of the northern kingdom. Sometimes Ephraim is called Israel. Sometimes it will say Judah and Israel, and in that case, it's talking about the southern kingdom being Judah and Israel being the northern kingdom. He said Judah and Jacob. Okay, which is technically incorrect. Judah is the father. Jacob is the father of Judah, as he is of all the other 11 tribes. So, just want to make that small correction. Now, okay, he said also, says 2nd Esdras chapter 2, verses 24 through 35. We'll go ahead and read it real quick. I'm gonna switch tabs. He told them to go ahead and read that, so we're gonna read what it says. All right. Okay, 2nd Esdras chapter 2 and verse 24. Abide still, O my people, and take thy rest, for thy quietness will still come. Nourish thy children, O thou good nurse, establish their feet. As for the servants whom I have given thee, there shall not one of them perish, for I will require them from among thy number. Okay, and that's nothing to the servants of the Most High are Israelites. Okay, it tells you Romans. Matter of fact, we'll switch tabs real quick. Okay, only Israelites can serve the Lord. I'm gonna go ahead and prove that. All right, Romans chapter 9, in the King James Version. Okay, only Israelites can serve the Lord. Okay, Romans chapter 9 and verse 3. I'll start there for context. It says, "For I could wish that myself were accursed from the anointed, for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption, and the glory, and the covenants, and the giving of the law, and the service of the Most High, and the promises." So only Israelites can serve the Most High. All these things pertain to the Israelites, the service of the Most High being one of them. All right, but let's go back to 2nd Esdras 2. I believe once again, he said verses 24 through 35. So continuing on, it says, verse 27, "Be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, and thou shalt be merry and have abundance. The heathen shall envy thee, but they should be able to do nothing against thee." Which this scripture right here, verse 28 in itself, contradicts the point that he's trying to bring out. But anyways, "My hand shall cover thee, that so that thy children shall not see hell. Be joyful, O thou mother, with thy children, for I will deliver thee, saith the Lord. Remember thy children that sleep, for I shall bring them out of the sides of the earth, and show mercy unto them. For I am merciful, saith Yahweh Almighty. All right, and the mother that's talking about, that's the daughter of Zion. He probably doesn't know that either. Embrace thy children until I come and show mercy unto them, for my wells run over, my grace shall not fail. I, Ezra, receive a charge of Yahweh upon the Mount Oreb, that I should go unto Israel. But when I came unto them, they set me at naught and despised the commandment of the Lord. And therefore I say unto you, O ye heathen, that hear and understand, look for your shepherd. He shall give you everlasting rest, for he is nigh at hand, and that shall come in the end of the world. Be ready to the reward of the kingdom, for the everlasting shall shine upon you forevermore. Okay, and these heathens that it's talking about, I see why he wanted to bring that out. The heathens that it's talking about are Israelite foreigners. It has nothing to do with the actual heathens, okay, non-Israelites. All right, it's talking about Israelite foreigners. But we go into that topic all the time. No need to go into it. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the video. Let's see, hopefully still has sound. Hey, Shalom, how about Shemir Shabbat to the brother Lion of Judah, Tazawam, Shalom. All right, let's continue on.
Verse 24 says that I will give them over. I will shall turn the other nations who shall call upon my name. It's a lot of other people, a lot of other Hebrews saying that those bloodlines come from the Nephilim, which I don't believe that that's true. But the thing is, even if it is, like my
okay, another point that you said. Okay, he said the Nephilim, which I've got videos on this topic as well. All right, the Nephilim is not talking about angels, you know, because with spiritual bodies sleeping with women. Okay, it's talking about Israelite men that were called the sons of God, starting off with Adam. You can read Luke, the 3rd chapter. If I will go, I'll go ahead and get it. I'll go ahead and read it. Okay, the sons of God that is talking about Genesis are really the seed line that became the Israelites later on. All right, but it started off with Adam. Okay, we'll go to Luke chapter 3. And Luke chapter 3 gives a lineage of Yahweh Shai. All right, but it's backwards. So it starts with Adam. Okay, but I'm going to start up at verse 37 for context. Okay, it's given a lineage up to Yahweh Shai. All right, it says, which was the son of Methuselah, which was the son of Enoch, which was the son of Jared, which was the son of Malael, which was the son of Canaan, which was the son of Enos, which was the son of Seth, which was the son of Adam, which was the son of God. Okay, so we went into this before. The sons of God that went into the daughters of men is not talking about fallen angels, all right, having relations with human women. That's not what it's talking about. It's talking about the lineage of the sons of God. I start off with Adam being with other nations, all right, being with women of other nations and their offspring. Okay, those are the Nephilim. Okay, so they were really just men, and certain of them had spiritual powers because they were from that lineage of the sons of God. Okay, like Samson, like King David. Okay, they spoke of different spiritual power that they had. Samson had super strength. King David, strength, speed. Okay, he jumped over the gate. I forgot exactly how it was worded, but okay. So he mentioned the Nephilim. That's another thing that can trip people up. Which I've got videos on all this stuff. If you want these videos, let me know. I'll post them in the comment section after this video, after I finish this live. But I don't want to go too deep into this stuff. I want to get to some of the other stuff that he was talking about. I'm just kind of lightly touching on it. So we'll continue on. Okay. Sound is out. Give me a sec. Rewind it. I'll come in and come back out. Bear with me. Yeah, it does that. If I switch tabs, the sound will go out. So it's a lot. Just bear with me. Okay. Should be back.
Which I don't believe that that's true. But the thing is, even if it is, like my people literally mix with so many different nations. And mixed with so many different nations, and that the truth is we all have different bloodlines and different DNA inside of us. None of us are 100% Hebrew. I'm not 100% Hebrew. Nobody truly is.
Okay, and that's another thing that I went into multiple times. All right, okay, that there's no such thing as mixed. Okay, and the brothers talk about this all the time. You are the seed of your father. All right, I'm just gonna prove that. Matter of fact, real quick, I'll go ahead and prove that. All right, that it doesn't matter what the mother is. I did a video on this recently too. These are all topics that we go over constantly. Okay, he's talking about nobody's 100% Hebrew. It doesn't go by, DNA and all that kind of stuff. You have the Israelites talking about E1, B1A, doesn't go off that. All right, it goes by if you're a descendant of Jacob from your father's side on your father's lineage. All right, let's get Numbers 1 and 18. This is just one, but there's many other. It's just a basic one. I'm gonna bring out more strong evidence of this in a sec. Okay, Numbers 1 and 18, it says, and they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward by their polls. Okay, so they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers. Whatever seed line their father comes from, that's what they are, regardless of what the mother is. I'm going to prove that. Number one, okay, one of the main examples is Ephraim and Manasseh. Okay, they were born to an Egyptian woman, all right, and Joseph. Okay, I think that's, let me just think that's, I know it's in Genesis. I'll find it right quick. Okay. Let's see. What I'll do is I'll go to I'll put everything in its order. Ephraim, hang on, bear with me. I don't know why it's starting me in Hosea. I'm trying to remember how I can put everything in order. Let's see. Hang on one second. Sort by book order. Here it is. Okay. So here we are. Genesis. It tells you, okay, straight up. Genesis 46 and 20. In the land of Joseph were born Ephraim and Manasseh, which Asenath, the daughter of Potiphar, priest of On, bare unto him. Okay, let's see what it says here in Genesis 41. Okay, both Ephraim and Manasseh, which are two of the 12 tribes, were born to an Egyptian woman, okay, from Joseph. So this is, let's see, here we are. Okay, this is Genesis chapter 41, and I'm going to start, for context, I'm going to start up at verse 39. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, for as much as the Most High have showed thee all this, and there is none so discreet and wise as thou art, thou shalt be over my house, and according to thy word shall my people be ruled. Only in the throne will I be greater than thou. So he was pretty much made second in command. Only the Pharaoh was above him. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I have set thee over all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh took off his ring from his hand and put it on Joseph's hand, and arrayed him in vestures and fine linen, and put a gold chain about his neck. I'm going to skip down to the main point. All right, verse 45. And Pharaoh called Joseph's name Zabnath Paneah, and he gave him to wife Asenath, the daughter of Potiphar, priest of On. And Joseph went out over all the land of Egypt. Okay, now, so he gave him to wife the daughter of the priest. Okay, in verse 50 down here it says, and unto Joseph were born two sons before the years of famine came, which Asenath, the daughter of Potiphar, priest of On, bare unto him. And Joseph called the name of the firstborn Manasseh, for God said, he hath made me forget all my toil and all my father's house. And the name of the second called he Ephraim, for the Most High hath caused me to be fruitful in the land of my affliction. So two of the 12 tribes of Jacob, okay, Joseph's sons, which are Ephraim and Manasseh, were taken on as two of the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay, so if there's such a thing as mixed people, from a biblical perspective, all right, now you can be so-called mixed, in the flesh, but your spirit comes from your father, like we said, and that's what the Lord sees. He sees what seed line do you go from. You come from, are you descendant of Jacob or are you not? Now, Ephraim and Manasseh were born to Egyptian women, but they're both Israelites. Okay, that's one example. Another example is Moses. Okay, Moses had two sons, all right, and they were born to Midianite women. Okay, to a Midianite woman. Let's go to Exodus chapter 2. All right, Exodus chapter 2, and this is let's see, Exodus chapter 2, and this is when Moses had deleted that Egyptian taskmaster. He fled. Okay, so this is Exodus chapter 2 and verse 15. Okay, it says, now when Pharaoh had heard this thing, he sought to slay Moses, but Moses fled from the face of Pharaoh and dwelt in the land of Midian, and he sat down by a well. Now the priests of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came and drew water and filled the troughs to water their father's flocks. All right. It says, and the shepherds came and drove them away, but Moses stood and helped them and watered their flock. When they came to rule the father, he said, how is it that ye are come so soon today? And they said, an Egyptian delivered us out of the hand of the shepherds, and also drew enough water for us, and watered the flock. And he said unto his daughters, where is he? Why is it that ye have left the man? Call him that he may eat bread. And Moses was content to dwell with the man, and he gave Moses Zipporah, his daughter. Okay, it says, verse 22, and she bare him a son, and he called his name Gershom, for he said, I have been a stranger in a strange land. Okay, so did it say that Gershom was a half Israelite and a half Midianite? No. Okay, Gershom is listed among the sons of Levi. I believe that lineage, if I'm not mistaken, is in 2 Chronicles 23. Okay, bear with me. 2 Chronicles 23, and let's see. Pretty sure this is where it's at. It goes into the lineage of, let's see. Oh, maybe this ain't the right chapter. You know what? I know how to find it. All I got to do, I'm pretty sure it's in Chronicles though. All I got to do is type in Gershom. See what comes up. Oh, there you go. 1 Chronicles 23. That's why. Okay, so look at this. 1 Chronicles 23 and 15. The sons of Moses were Gershom and Eleazar. Now, when we go down, it's going to list them among the houses of Levi. Okay, this is 1 Chronicles chapter 23 and verse 14. Now, concerning Moses, the man of God, his sons were named of the tribe of Levi. So they were Levites. The sons were Gershom and Eleazar. Okay, so Gershom, that's the same one that was born of Zipporah, the Midianite woman. Okay, did it say that, once again, did it say that he was half Midianite and half Levi? No, it said that he was a Levite. Okay, so lineage comes from the father regardless of what the mother is. All right, a lot of really that doctrine of it coming, the lineage coming from the woman is something that the 1948ers that they follow. Okay, and then a lot of women are angry because they want to try to force Jake men to be with Jake women, which you don't have to. All right, if you have, you can have concubines of other nations, and if you have a child with that concubine and that woman, that child is an Israelite. Okay, so this guy talking about, nobody's 100% Hebrew and this and that, we're mixed. He doesn't know what he's talking about, man. Okay, hey, shalom, how about Shabbat? To the brother, it's like it, the brother GMS, Salvation of the Elect, shalom, Mark. All right, I'm gonna go back to the video. Just wanted to show you guys that. Okay, that's there's no such thing as mixed in the scriptures. All right, let's go back to the video, because this guy is talking about people being mixed and all this and that. Nobody's 100% Hebrew. Doesn't go by that. That's nothing too. Jake can't get the mystery of the Gentiles because they're too busy looking at skin color. All right, when I say Jake, I'm talking about black Christians and different Israelites. Okay, if an Israelite is light, is very light skinned, they'll say he's not an Israelite. Okay, and then Christians will tell you that we teach only black people can make it to heaven, which is completely stupid. We don't say that. We say that the Israelites, the kingdom of heaven, rulership on the earth, which is what we're talking about, salvation. Okay, the being delivered out of the destruction of Babylon the Great is for Israelites, but we know, because of what I just read to you, because what I just showed you, that you're going to have Israelites that look like other nations, but where does their seed line go back to? It goes back to Jacob, okay? Because the seed comes from the father. I just proved that, okay? The lineage of a child comes from the father. So there's no such thing as mixed scripturally. All right, let's continue on the video.
And the thing is, the Most High understands that. He knows that, unfortunately, my ancestors wanted to go mix with the other tribes, to mix with the other nations. I mean, Solomon did it. Samson did it when he was messing with the Philistine women. Like, if you guys read all throughout Scripture, my people constantly mixed with the other nations. So the truth is, none of us are 100% anything. If some of us can possibly have Nephilim DNA inside of us, even Hebrews can possibly have. The truth is, these camps that are out here teaching all this, they have been told the truth through amount of hate. and not do them out and not do away of love. Because the purpose of these camps is to get people to not come to the truth. Because like I said, they have been taught a form of the truth through a whole lot of hate. So
Okay, so all right. That's the next point I want to talk about. He said that this guy said the purpose of the camps is to get people to not come to the truth. Okay, so this guy acknowledged that he's a Hebrew Israelite. All right. And then he says we're preaching hate. Okay, number one, how do you think he found out that he was a Hebrew Israelite? Okay, most of the people that hate the camps, they learned that they're Hebrew Israelite. These people will tell you also, you'll have somebody that hates the camps and they'll tell you that they're from the tribe of Ephraim. Where did you learn that from? You learned that from the camps. Okay, the Hebrew Israelite awakening, all right, has been driven through the camps. It's just that what it is people, they want to take the parts that they like and then they want to throw out the parts that will get them persecuted by the people of the world. Because when he said, pretty much what he's saying they're teaching hate. Pretty much what he's saying is, hey, everybody, I'm not like those bad Israelites. I'm one of the friendly, nice, and soft and cuddly Israelites. I'm with you guys. I'm with the world. That's pretty much what he's saying, man. Okay, which I'm going to prove that the Israelites, first of all, it's okay to so-called hate. All right, it's okay to hate. So it's justified. The Heavenly Father hates. Okay, he don't love everybody and he don't love everything. He tells you that he hates Esau. Okay, and it tells you in the scriptures that he's going to put his anger and his hatred into the elect, and they're going to pretty much destroy the heathen nations, man. But let me get a few scriptures on this first. All right, going into okay, like I said, these world friendly Israelites, man. All right, because that's really what it is. He's offended at the word. All right, because we'll see, like I said, a lot of these people they realize they're Israelites, and that's where it stops. Okay, Daniel the 12th chapter. Let me get that first right quick. Daniel the 12th chapter talks about some awakening to everlasting life, okay, and some awakening to shame and everlasting contempt. Okay, this is Daniel 12 and 2. I'm going to click on it. It says, and many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth, which is confusion of the earth, being in the lowest state, shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. Okay, and the reason why a lot of these guys are going to be in shame is because they're going to figure out that they were the ones who went against the prophets, because according to them, we're teaching hate. But all the prophecies concerning the relationship between the remnant and the heathen nations is the remnant beating them into subjection. Okay, and that's in the Old Testament and the New Testament. Like I said, we're going to prove all that in a minute. But this guy, he's got a world-friendly spirit on him. Let's get James 4 and 4 right quick. Okay, it says, ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with the Most High? Whosoever there will be a friend of the world is the enemy of the Most High. So like I said, he's pretty much saying, hey, everybody, I'm not like those evil camps that's out there teaching hate. I'm not like them. Come on, you guys we just got to love each other. Accept me. That's pretty much what he's doing. Okay, so he's a man pleaser. All right. Paul talked about this also in Galatians 1 and 10. All right, it says, for do I now persuade men or the Most High? Or do I seek to please men? For if I yet please men, I should not be the servant of Hamashiach. That's the thing. They called Yahushai Beelzebub, okay, the prince of demons, pretty much. You think that they did that because he walked around telling everybody that he loved them? I know. Okay, they were mad because he was calling out wickedness, he was calling out sin. That's nothing too. They're angry with us because we are revealing all the different history and prophesying against the wicked, that they're going to be punished for all the things that they've done. All right, and that's what they're angry about that too. All right, let's get also 1 Thessalonians chapter 2. Oh, crap. Second chapter, and bear with me. Hang on one second. Okay, matter of fact, what I'm going to do this in the NLT. 1 Thessalonians 2, I'm going to get in the New Living Translation. Okay, 1 Thessalonians 2, in the NLT, and I'm going to start at verse 4. All right. So, 1 Thessalonians 2 and verse 4 in the NLT, it says, for we speak as messengers approved by the Most High to be entrusted with the good news. Our purpose is to please the Most High and not people. He alone examines the motives of our hearts. Never once did we try to win you with flattery, as you well know. And the Most High is our witness that we were not pretending to be your friends just to get your money, like a lot of these false prophets, man. All right. Verse 6, here's the point. It says, as for human praise, we have never sought it from you or anyone else. Okay, so we're not looking to be praised by people. We don't care if people of the world like us. Okay, this guy talking about, he's about to go into the bill talking about how he's sad because he sees people get upset and offended at the gospel. Well, that's how they're supposed to feel. It's the spirit of truth whom the world cannot receive. Now, let me go into some of those prophecies. I mentioned them. Okay, every time you read about the remnant of Jacob, all right, and the heathen nations, the relationship between the two, it's always the remnant pretty much beating them to subjection. Okay, I'm going to get that in the Old Testament and I get it in the New Testament. All right, so first, I'm going to go to Micah chapter 5. Okay, this is the part that's offensive to them, man. This is the difference between us and everybody else, all right, including a lot of other Israelites, man. Okay, especially the Yah Israelites. They won't go into these kind of prophecies on how the remnant is going to beat the heathen nations, man. All right, and they don't do that because they're offended. All right, and at the end of the day, really, they just don't got it. What does the scripture say? The election has obtained it, and the rest are blinded. All right, that's how you know. That's where that great separation is. Okay, the great separation is that guys like this, he acknowledges that he's an Israelite. Guarantee you that he said he calls on Yah and Yahuwah. All right, but in his mind, it's somehow wicked for the remnant to smash on the heathen nations. And that's scriptural. That's what it says they're going to do. Okay, this is Micah chapter 5, and I'm going to start at verse 7. All right, it says, and the remnant of Jacob shall be in the midst of many people as a dew from Yahweh, as the showers upon the grass that tarrieth not for man, nor waiteth for the sons of men. Okay, verse 8, here's the point. And the remnant of Jacob shall be among the Gentiles in the midst of many people, as a lion among the beasts of the forest, as a young lion among the flocks of sheep, who if he go through, both treadeth down and teareth in pieces, and none can deliver. This is what the remnant is going to be like among the heathens, among the actual Gentiles. Okay, the remnant of Jacob, all right, is going to be like a lion that goes among the flocks of sheep, who if he go through, both treadeth down and teareth in pieces, and none can deliver. Thine hand shall be lifted up upon thine adversaries, and all thine enemies shall be cut off. Okay, there you go. Let's get one go to Jeremiah 51 next. And then we'll get one out of the New Testament as well. All right, Jeremiah 51 and verse, I'm going to start at verse 19. Okay, it says, the portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. Yahweh, power of hosts, is his name. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war, for with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms. And with thee will I break in pieces the horse and his rider, and with thee will I break in pieces the chariot and his rider. And with thee will I also break in pieces man and woman, and with thee will I break in pieces old and young, and with thee will I break in pieces the young man and the maid. And I will also break in pieces with thee the shepherd and his flock, and with thee will I break in pieces the husbandman and his yoke of oxen. And with thee will I break in pieces captains and rulers. And I will render unto Babylon and to all the inhabitants of Chaldea all their evil that they have done in Zion in your sight, saith Yahweh. Okay, so he's going to use the remnant as his battle axe and weapons of war, okay, to destroy. And this is just two prophecies. I can go all day, man. But see, the Christians are not going to read this. Yah Israelites are not going to read those prophecies, okay, because they're offended at them. This guy's if we say that, you know that Jacob is going to beat other nations into subjection. All right, he's going to say we got to be a light unto the Gentiles. They don't even know what that's talking about. The Gentiles that it's talking about are Israelite foreigners, man. There's two different sets of Gentiles, and I just did a video on it. Okay, it's important to get context and to get the Hebrew and the Greek words, because a lot of words are translated to the same in English, but they come from 4 or 5 different words in the original languages that mean completely different things. Okay, because that, like I said, that confused a lot of people, but it's really not confusing at all. It's just that, as Elman Zakba always says, you guys are coming with the doctrine. You're not coming with just what the scriptures say. All right, and at the end of the day, it's because you're blinded. You know, it's really up to the Lord. If the Lord don't want you to see it, you're not going to get it. We can read these things, which the prophet's been reading these prophecies for decades. Okay, not holding back nothing, and they're still just going to dance around it like it doesn't exist. So It is what it is. Now, here's one out of the New Testament. Okay, this is Revelation 2:25. And I'll put the red letter on. This is Yahushua speaking. Okay, it says, "But that which ye have already hold fast till I come. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. All right, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father." Okay, so those who overcome, the remnant of Jacob, is going to rule over the nations with a rod of iron. Okay, and as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as he received of his Father. The same thing was said to Yahushua in Psalms, the 2nd chapter. Okay, so this is what they don't want to talk about. Okay, the heathen nations, when Yahushua returns, the other nations go into captivity, man. Okay, and that's the harshness. See, they want to try to steer away from that because it's too offensive to them. Okay, these damn Israelites. Hey, Shalom, Yahabashim Yashabakatah. His brother GMS, Strive for the Masters 144. Okay, and I see Lion of Judah Tazawan put up the scripture that I just quoted. The water for that out. I'm going to get this one, though, from the brother Rayab. Okay, he put up Ezekiel 25:14. All right, it says, "And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai." That's it. Okay, and there's so many like this, man. There's so many prophecies like this. But like I said, they're going to dance around. They're going to try to find one or two that they think contradicts, all right, and try to act like these other ones don't exist. But the vast majority of end time prophecy, when you see the relation between the remnant of Jacob and the heathen nations, all right, pretty much every time it's them getting beat. The only time that it's not is when it talks about like Isaiah 2, Micah 4 talks about us teaching them, but that's in the kingdom of heaven. That's not on this side. Okay. And even then, they're going to go into subjection for 1,000 years, and then they'll be able to go back to their regular lives and all that. But they're still going to be tributaries. They're still going to have to live according to the law, statutes, commandments of the Heavenly Father. All right. But anyways, let's go back to the video. I'll play a little bit more and then wrap this thing up. I don't want it to be too long. Okay, but it's the same crap over and over, man. And this is the reason why Apostle Tahar, he said if a Christian wants to argue with you, just go into prophecy, because prophecy is deep water and they're going to drown each and every single time. All right. That's why prophecy is what separates the remnant from everybody else in the world. Because anybody can pick up a Bible and read it, but everybody can't understand prophecy. Okay. And if they can't understand it, what are they going to say? They're going to say, you guys are heretics. You guys are wicked. You guys are evil. All this. So they said the same thing to Yahushua, man, Matthew the 10th chapter. So that's all that this is. Let's keep listening.
When Christians or other people hear that we're like, someone asked me, am I Hebrew Israelite? I tell them, yeah, but because of all the hate that they see from these people, from all these different camps, they immediately reject me, and it makes it hard for us nice, fruitful Hebrews out here to really, really help people, because people look at us as evil people, and it just really frustrates me when I see all you poor white tea people or white tea.
Oh, come on, man.
Women, men, whoever. It hurts when I see you guys on here sad like that, because that first of all, we're all not like that. And number two, yes, you guys can receive salvation.
Okay, and that's the thing. Once again, all right. And I just showed a few prophecies. Okay, and I just did a video on it yesterday, and I did a video on Esau yesterday and a video on him this morning. All right, how is it that Esau can receive salvation when Ezekiel 35, Obadiah both say that they're going to be their whole nation going to be completely cut off? Okay, that's number one. Number two, like I said, in pretty much all the end time prophecies concerning the remnant and their relationship with the heathen nations, it's always a relationship of dominance, all right, of the remnant dominating and executing punishments upon the heathen nations that did the same unto the Israelites. Okay, that's pretty much always the relationship between the two. So how can you say Okay, they're going to receive salvation, and the scriptures say they're going to go into captivity, and then eventually be cut off. Okay, well, once again, this guy, they're just going to keep on ignoring the prophecies. That's why we won't even talk to them. All right, we won't even talk to these people. It's a complete waste of time, because all they're going to do is just ignore all the scriptures that you bring out. But at the end of the day, it's the Lord that got him in this state of mind. All right, this dude is a bug out, man. Let's keep listening.
And then I've been seeing also a lot of hate from a lot of Hebrews when they are seeing a lot of our Hebrew men with white T women, or white T men with a Hebrew man. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm sorry, a white T woman with a Hebrew man, or a Hebrew woman with a white T man. Let me fix that.
And which is silly because, like I said, all right, Jake can get with a. That's another thing too. Just because they're Caucasian doesn't necessarily mean that they're Edomite. All right, you're gonna have so-called white people that actually go back to Jacob. Okay, so that's and we don't, as much as they try to put that on us. Okay, are the Israelites primarily so-called brown-skinned people? Yes. All right, but you are gonna have people that look like other nations that are Israelites as well. So we don't go off that. We go based off the spirit. Okay, because when you read the prophecies, different nations have different personality traits and different characteristics. Okay, Jacob is the righteous. They should be. That's what they were created to be. But 2/3 of our people have followed behind the ways of this world, which is really the ways of Esau. And then on the flip side of that, Esau, he's just flat out the wicked. They're not gonna stand for truth. Okay, they can't help but to do evil. That's their characteristic. So when you are dealing with people in the world, all right, you read what the prophecies say, and you can pick up on certain spiritual characteristics and say, yeah, that's an Edomite. And when we come across so-called white people, we probably would assume at first that they're Edomite, but we're not going to treat them badly because of that. You got to get to know people and see, where their spirit is at the end of the day. All right, and the word is what does the sifting. Okay, the word is what is going to tell who is who. Okay, because really at the end of the day, even if somebody is an Israelite, it doesn't mean that the Lord is going to save them. Okay, it's only the remnant is going to make it on this side. So when the word is being preached and it's going forth, okay, the remnant is going to be drawn to it. They're going to understand it. They're going to believe it, and they're going to live by it. Okay, and they're really the only ones that matter in this movie is the remnant. Heavenly Father's will be part of that number. None of the rest of the people in the world really matter. Okay, so if somebody is an Israelite, but they're like this guy, and they're trying to save the Edomites, then it doesn't matter anyways, because they're going to die right along. Anybody who's not of the remnant is going to get the same judgment, okay? At least here in America on this side. All right, now, if you're an Israelite and you are wicked, okay, you'll die here, but you'll come back. Okay, if you're an Edomite, you'll die here and you'll come back too, but you're going to come back as a servant, as a slave. Okay, and all this stuff is written in the scriptures, man. It's all written in the prophecies. But anyways, like I said, the word is going to do the sifting. We're out there preaching on the highways and byways. If a so-called white person comes up, we're not going to automatically assume that they're Edomite. We probably would, think that in our head at first, but we'll say, okay, let's talk to them, have a conversation, and see if they are not interested, they can't get it, whatever it is that turns them away. It doesn't really matter. It could just be a wicked Jake, or it could be Edomite. Don't make a difference. At the end of the day, it's all about the elect. Okay, it's all about the ones, Yahushua's true disciples. That's it. Nobody else is going to make it out of here alive. Okay, I'm talking about America, Babylon the Great. So that's all that really matters at the end of the day. And that's another thing too. On the flip side of that, if somebody looks like an Edomite, but they're actually an Israelite, they could be of the elect. I'm pretty sure there's going to be people. I can guarantee it. There's going to be people who don't look like what you would consider so-called Negro, Latino, Native American Indian that are actually Israelites that will be of the elect. Okay, so this guy's not going to get that, man. It's not really complicated, but it's complicated if the Lord didn't give you the eyesight to see it. So, anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and keep playing the video. I don't think he's going to speak much longer, and I'll get maybe a few comments on the board, and we'll end it there.
And they throw so much hate at them and saying that they were mixing. But first of all, if you go and read the scriptures, the reason why he told us not to mix in the first place, it wasn't because of their nationality. It was simply because of their abominations. He said because they would turn you away from the Most High. Now, me personally, I personally don't care. I date a Hebrew or a white tea woman. It personally don't matter to me. But the point is that you guys can receive salvation. Like, please do not listen to these camps. And I hate that I gotta keep making videos like this, but y'all, please do not listen to these Hebrew camps, because there are a lot of them a lot of them are formed from Freemasonry. These camps are part of Freemasonry, just like Christianity is, just like Hinduism is, just like Buddhism is, just like.
Okay, now and that's see, and he got that from that guy Truth Unedited, which that guy's a demon. He's gonna be destroyed for that, man, because he's bearing false witness against us. All right, now what's ironic about that is he says that because I think the guy's name was Frank Cherry or something like that. Frank Cherry, and there's another guy, I can't remember his name, but these are guys that came along way before the One West even really was formed. Now, with that being said, okay, just because let's just say that it was true that One West or some of the guys that started One West were attached to those guys. All right, does that necessarily mean that the whole thing is wicked? Okay, because look at, for example, like John the Baptist. All right, John the Baptist, he was a Jew and he left and he went to go preach in the wilderness to fulfill the mission that Yahweh Shemashah had gave him. Okay, what we do is has nothing to do with what Frank Cherry or these other guys that they try to connect us to from back then were doing back then and what they teach. If anything, those guys that are Freemasons that they're talking about, they're probably more similar in doctrine to this guy. They're more similar to a Yah Israelite, because those guys that they're talking about, and I don't remember the names right now. I think Frank Cherry is one of them. There's another one, but they're not camp Israelites. Okay, the guys that he's talking about, I'm talking about Truth Unedited that made that video. The guys he's talking about, they didn't go out and teach on the streets. Okay, they believed that they were Israelites, but they didn't teach on the streets. They believed that the heathens could be saved. I highly doubt that they called on Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. So pretty much what that guy, and that guy's probably an agent his damn self, man. I'm talking about Truth Unedited. Because that's where he's saying that from. Because that he made a video on that maybe like a month or two ago. A lot of brothers, reacted to it. But anyways, okay, no, we're not Freemasons. All right. Now, is there brothers that's in the camps that are wicked? Sure. Okay. And at the end of the day, there's always going to be, crept in unawares and infiltrators and all that kind of stuff. The scriptures tell you that. All right, Yahushua had Judas Iscariot in his camp. Okay, it doesn't mean that his camp, his group was wicked. All right, but this guy, that's another thing too. See, notice this video. Okay, we're 4 minutes in, and he has yet to go to the scriptures. And this is what I say: they'll never go into prophecy. He has yet to go to the scriptures and say, okay, this is what they say. This is where they get it from in the Bible, and this is the correct understanding of it. Christians, they have yet to do that. All they do is just ignore all the scriptures that we bring out. Okay, we brought out all the prophecies. Like I said, we've been prophesying this stuff for decades. The heathens going into captivity. Okay, the Lord saving the remnant. It doesn't mention anybody else. Who the new covenant is for. All these, the tabernacle of David. What is the tabernacle of David? They don't talk about that. Okay, it tells you when the tabernacle of David is established in Amos the 9th chapter that they will possess the remnant of Edom and of all the heathen. All right, they don't talk about these things. Why don't they go into the scriptures and break down all the stuff that we're bringing out and show you that okay, this is where they're wrong at and this is the correct understanding? They never do that. You notice that all these Christians, these Yah Israelites, all these people that are offended, all they do is pretty much just make videos and say these guys are wrong. That's all they do. But they don't give you what, if you're saying that someone's wrong, you're implying that you have greater understanding. Well, why don't you educate us on these things? And why don't you go into the prophecies that we bring out and show us how we're wrong? They're never going to do that, man. That's why these guys are fucking jokes. Okay, it really pisses me off. And the whole him trying to attach us with that guy Frank Cherry, whatever his name is, and there's another dude. Okay, it's all about demonization. Okay, it's pretty much just saying, hey, these guys are wicked, so don't listen to nothing that they got to say. All right, but see, at the end of the day, all right, that is what's going to separate the elect versus everybody else, because just like the church of Berea, all right, Acts the 17th chapter. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go there right quick. The church of Berea, what they did is when they heard information, all right, they said they searched the scriptures diligently to see whether it was true. Okay. And see, that's what none of these people do that, man. And really, here's ironically, a lot of stuff we say, you hear them started, they try to talk like us, trying to act like us. All right, because really they know that we got the truth. They just don't, like I said, they're offended. They don't like, the way we're saying it, or they don't like that the heathens are not included. Okay, but what we're saying is the truth. All you got to do is go into the scriptures, you can see it. And we lay it all out for you. We make it so easy to understand. This is Acts chapter 17 and verse 10. And brethren immediately sent away Paul and Silas by night unto Berea, who coming thither went into the synagogue of the Jews. And these were more noble than those at Thessalonica, in that they received the word with all readiness of mind, and searched the scriptures daily, whether those things were so. Okay, so that's what the church of Berea did. All right, when they heard the messengers, it said they searched the scriptures daily with all readiness of mind to see whether those things were so. Are they telling the truth? Okay, most of these people, all right, they won't even listen to what we're saying. See, that's the difference between us too. When we make videos about Christians, it's always about the doctrine. We may make little jokes and throw insults in there, here and there, but we're attacking their doctrine. Okay, it's not personal attacks with us. Okay, it's mostly ad hominem attacks. Okay, these guys trying to find ways to discredit us instead of coming at our doctrine. You know the reason why? Because our doctrine is foolproof. Okay, if you actually search the scriptures and go into and read the stuff that we're telling you to read, and then what'll probably happen is you'll probably end up becoming a Hebrew Israelite. If depending on what kind of spirit you got. If you're wicked, then you're gonna reject, because Christians do that too. Christians will, and certain Israelites do that too. Okay, they'll pick certain parts of the Bible that they like, and they'll say, "Oh, I like this part, but I don't like that part over there," and they just push it away, push it to the side. Okay, you got a lot of Israelites that push the writings of Paul to the side because they don't like how Christians try to misinterpret those to come against the law and the prophets. So they just throw the writings of Paul away, which that's also going on. And then Christians, they created a whole religion off of their misunderstanding of the writings of Paul, and they throw away the law and the prophets. Okay, no, you have to eat the whole roll. Okay, and that's why once again in this verse, Acts 17 and 11, okay, the church of Berea, what did they do? Once again, they searched the scriptures daily to see whether these things were so. These guys, they never will go into it and attack our doctrine. Okay, they never go in and say, like I said, this is why they say this. Here's the correct understanding of it. They don't do that, man. None of them, because they can't go into prophets. They don't understand it themselves. All they know is that they don't like us and they don't like what we're saying, and that's okay, because that's what the prophets. That's a lot of the prophets to be hated. All right, but anyways, let's continue on. When he said that pissed me off, though. Let's just continue on with the rest of the video.
Islam and all these other different religious camps or religious organizations, they are all formed by Freemasons to get people to turn away from the truth, because the Most High wants us to be set apart in Him and Kodesh in Him, and to come out of Babylon, which is an entire system. It's not just America, but it's the whole world, and it's an entire.
That's another place you're going off. Babylon is a place where the Israelites are at. Okay, primarily. All right, let me get a quick precept on that. Okay, the Israelites are in Babylon the Great, man. Okay. Now, Babylon runs the whole earth. Okay, but Babylon is not the whole world. It's more. Babylon is America. It's an actual place. Okay, the daughter of Babylon is what. There's multiple titles for it, because you had ancient Babylon. Okay, with Nimrod, you had the Neo-Babylonian Empire, like Nebuchadnezzar, the first beast, and now you have this modern day daughter of Babylon, and that's America. Okay, this is Micah 4 and 10. It says, "Be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion, like a woman in travail. For now shalt thou go forth out of the city, and thou shalt dwell in the field, and thou shalt go even to Babylon, and there shalt thou be delivered. There Yahweh shall redeem thee from the hand of thine enemy." So Babylon is an actual place. It's not just the world at large. It's a place, and it's talking about America. Okay, and let's get some context clues on that. Okay, Babylon, Mystery Babylon is one of its titles. All right, it says that it's the whore that sitteth upon many waters. Let's go ahead and read that right quick. All right, the waters represent the people. I'll prove that all within this chapter. Okay, this is Revelation 17 and verse 10. It's like verse 1. "And there came one of the seven angels which had seven vials, and talked with me, saying, Come unto me hither, and I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters." All right, it says, "With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication." I'm skip down to verse. So the point is that the whore sitteth upon many waters. All right, and the whore is talking about in verse 5. It tells you, and upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon, the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. Okay, this is the place where the Israelites came to and where they're going to be delivered out of. All right, just to show you, okay, that the waters it's talking about, okay, is people. All right, Revelation 17 and 15. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. All right, so these are the waters is different people. America, all right, has military bases all over the world. That's number one. And America's influence is all over the world. Okay, another thing that shows you, all right, that Babylon is a place and not just a world system. Okay, Babylon is the beast that rides on top. It's like Babylon is the harlot that rides on top of the beast system. Okay, the whole world, the world government ran by Esau, that's the beast. Babylon is what sits on top of that. Babylon is like the chief of that. Okay, now to show you that Babylon is a place, a specific place as well, not the whole earth, is the judgment that's going to be brought upon it. Okay, it tells you that it's never going to be inhabited again. Well, the earth is going to be inhabited again. Okay, so Babylon is not the earth. It's not the whole world and the system that runs it. Babylon is a specific place, and it's talking about America. Okay, this is Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 19. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. All right, and this is going to be the destruction, like it under Sodom and Gomorrah, is going to come from nuclear missiles. All right, the nations of the earth are going to come up against the mystery Babylon, the daughter of Babylon, and they're going to shoot missiles at it, and that's what's going to cause this great destruction. Okay, this is Jeremiah 50 and verse 9. It says, for lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country. This is Russia, China, North Korea, okay, that are going to shoot missiles upon America, Babylon the Great, in this last world war. And they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence shall she be taken, and their arrows should be as a mighty expert man, and none shall return in vain. Okay, skipping down to verse 13. Because of the wrath of the Lord, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. This is the same judgment spoken of in Isaiah 13. So he going on. Babylon is not the whole world. It's a specific place. Okay, and that place is America. All right. Okay. Hey, I see. Hey, the brother said Geno Jennings is now doing in-transit lessons with his reader. Hey, where did he get that from, man? Okay, he got that from Great Millstone, because we're the main ones that do that. All right. You got that from the prophets. Okay, and other Israelite camps do that as well, but Great Millstone is the main ones who do that. Those in-transit lessons. Okay, but anyway, let's go back to the video. So this guy, he don't know what the hell he's talking about, man. All right, this guy has no clue what the hell he's talking about. Let's get a little bit more. I'm gonna wrap this up in just a minute. These people, like I said, I wanted this to do a regular video on it, but he said so many stupid things that I said I got to go live on this. It's too much to talk about in one video.
Wants us to come out of. In another example, like let's say if I was to get with a Hebrew woman, for an example, because considering that we're all mixed per se, if I was to get with a Hebrew woman, and then let's say me and her have a kid, that child will also be mixed and have a different bloodline in them, because the thing is we're all mixed. Because I have a sister of mine who's white, who I'm really close with. Her friend was part of some tribe, and he went and got his DNA tested. I can't remember, forgive me, I can't remember what tribe it was, but he went and got his DNA tested. And by the way, this guy is extremely white, and the DNA test came back, said he had like 50% of like over 50% of his tribe inside of him.
And this dude just making shit up. He just making stuff up, man. What? Hey, when have you ever gotten a DNA test and it come back and talk about tribes? It's not gonna happen. This guy just making things up, man. Okay, even the 1948ers, if they take a DNA test, it's not going to say they have a 80% DNA of the tribe of Judah or you're from the tribe of Levi. It's not going to say that, man. This guy just making stuff up. And these Christians are disingenuous. All right. What, like, come on, man. Why lie like that, bro? This dude is full of it, man. Just like most of these Christians. And he said he's an Israelite, but this guy, he's one of them. He's a Yah Israelite. He's a Christian Israelite hybrid, and they're really almost worse than regular Christians, man. Okay, because what's the point? You might as well just be a full blown Christian. Anyway, let's continue on.
And the thing is, this guy was white as pure snow. So the point of what I'm trying to say is that you guys simply just can't go by the color of somebody's skin to determine if they're really 100% something.
You don't anyway.
Because depending on your genetics, the more melanin that you genetically are prone to make, the darker your skin is. All dark skin means you just produce more melanin than the average person, and the lighter your skin is means you don't produce a whole lot of it due to your genetics.
And it has nothing to do with skin color. You have Elamites, so-called East Indians, that are darker than me. You got Arabs that are darker than me. You have Hamites. They're black people. They would come to America and they would be considered so-called black, but they're not Jacob. So it doesn't have anything to do with skin color. And we keep saying these same things over and over, man. These people just can't get it. You got Northern Kingdom Israelites that are very pale. All right, this guy, he just can't get it, man.
That's all that means. So all my white tea women and men out there, mostly the women, because I see them mostly on here, being emotional. Trust me, I get it, because when you guys hear things like that, it can make you guys sad. Just know you guys can be saved. Again, go read 2nd Esdras, chapter 2, starting at verse 24 and all the way down. And the Most High literally says that he will turn the other nations who shall call upon my name, and they have not heard of me, and they shall still come to me. I love y'all. Y'all have a good.
Oh, praise to Yahweh.
Okay. All right, and we'll close it out here, man. Who are these other nations that it's talking about? All right, we'll go to that. And this will be the last one. This is to drop the hammer down on it. Isaiah the 11th chapter. Okay, just drop the hammer down. This will be it. Okay, who are these other nations that are going to call upon the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai? All right, Isaiah the 11th chapter. As soon as it loads, I'm going to start at verse 10. Okay, bear with me. People, you see nations, you see Gentiles, you see stranger, you see heathen, you automatically assume it's talking about non-Israelites, and it's not. This chapter lays it all out. Isaiah 11 and 10. And in that day there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people. To it shall the Gentiles seek, and his rest shall be glorious. It says the Gentiles are going to seek after him. And as we always bring out to you, that Israelite foreigners are also, they're called Gentiles, because if they're not serving the Lord, then they're Gentiles, they're heathens, they're strangers to the God of Israel. Okay, verse 11 is going to expand on who those Gentiles are. It says, and you see it's entitled The Restored Remnant. That's the subtitle. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathros and from Cush and from Elam and from Shinar and from Hamath and from the islands of the sea. Okay, this is the Gentiles it's talking about. It's the remnant of his people. Verse 12, and he shall set up an ensign for the nations. These are the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. This is who the Gentiles, that when they talk about salvation, these are the Gentiles, these are the nations that it's talking about. Okay, all the people that are going to be, that are scattered, the Israelites that are scattered from into these different nations, that are coming back to the Lord through the ministry of reconciliation. Okay, which is pretty much the ministry of Yahweh Shai. All right, he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. That's who he's going to gather. Now, what's going to happen to everybody else? We're going to read it. Verse 13 says, the envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. That's the northern kingdom being Ephraim and the southern kingdom coming back together. Okay. Now, this is what they're going to do when they come back together. It says, but they shall fly upon the shoulders of the Philistines toward the west, and they shall spoil them of the east together. They shall lay their hand upon Edom and Moab, and the children of Ammon shall obey them. So they're going to beat them into subjection. Okay, just like all the other prophecies say. All right, they all say the same thing, man. But these guys are going to keep on ignoring what the scriptures say. All right, so that's pretty much it. I don't got to speak. I don't got to say anything else. I'm gonna end it there. Heavenly Father's will was edifying. All right, as always, I'm gonna give all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachash, and next double honors to the head apostles / elder bishops of the Great Millstone, who teach and who rule well. Peace, blessings, and safety to all you sincere Akim. Keep pushing, keep believing, and keep the faith, regardless of what people hear or what they forbear. Until next time, Shalom and abide before.